Hey, what is going on, people? Carter here. Got a video for you. New toy in the mail today. It is an Emerson right here. As you can see, black coated blade, serrations, commander. Oh yeah, super nice. Now for you Emerson fans out there, I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, OMG, is that a 98 Commander? And the answer to that, my friends, no. It's not a 98 Commander, it's a 99. So 1 year off from the coveted 98 Commanders. Still really cool though. Still has all the same features of the 98, except that it was not hand done by Mr. Emerson himself. Although who knows, maybe he did happen to put this particular one together. I can still hope. I can still hope that that following year he didn't have enough staff to completely turn it over to them, and that maybe he had some portion of the building of this knife. It's possible. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, I got this off eBay. Really good deal. Really cool knife. Bought it from somebody who's not a Emerson fan, I don't believe. It was just a knife to them, and I was able to score it. There's still a lot of questions in my mind as to the condition once I got it. There's only 2 pictures. They weren't that great, and I just kind of took a chance on it, and I was very, very excited. Very cool. I love it. Already carried it in my pocket a little bit today. But first, let's point out some of the features on this knife that you don't see on the newer Emersons. So let's take a look at the logo here, if we can get a focus. It says Emerson USA 99. You'll notice the model name is missing, the serial number is missing, and the wave patent is missing as well. It simply says Emerson 99 right there. Nothing on the flip side. Same V ground, black coated blade. You can see it's been used and sharpened by however many owners it used to have. I believe that these had dual titanium liners. They are thinner than the ones currently used. The stop pin is much smaller than what's currently being used. Same pocket clip right here. The biggest difference that you'll see is these screws right here. This was put together much closer to the construction on a custom. So if you remove these screws, it simply removes this scale from the liner. And then underneath that liner, you'll see 4 more screws all coming in on this side that go all the way through into this liner here, whereas the new construction for Emersons have just 4 screws that alternate, that do double duty. They hold the scale on and they hold the whole knife together, whereas this has more screws doing different things. And I did take this knife apart to take a look inside and clean it up a little bit, and I gotta say, I see why he made the decision to change. There's a lot more parts here. Putting it back together, obviously more screws, and basically doing the alternating 4 screws just provides less parts and a simpler design that achieve the exact same thing. So I can see why I did that. But one of the cool things about this knife are these kind of different construction. The G10 is much milder in texture. You can see very, very light texture on it. And of course this has been worn, but still these older ones didn't have the aggressive texture the new ones do. The corners are completely radiused instead of just chamfered, I believe is the term. You know, basically they're completely smoothed, rounded, instead of just having a flattened portion taken out, an angled portion taken off the edge. So yeah, just a little bit nicer rounding right there. The back spacer is actually some kind of plastic. It's not G10. You have Phillips screws everywhere that you'd normally see them on the scales here, also underneath. However, the thumb disc is a flathead right there. See, lockup is still really good. It is rock solid in all respects. Very, very cool knife. Of course, the Commander just has that nice ergonomics. It's a lot lighter just due to the dual titanium liners and the thinner liners, so it doesn't weigh as much as the newer Emersons. And the other big difference is it has a domed pivot on the back. It is not a flattened pivot. Now this is polished. This is polished. These body screws obviously are polished. I don't know if that was something done by a previous owner, or it came that way, or if it's just from pocket wear, the finish wore off. I'm not sure. I also can't say with certainty that everything on this knife is original out of box. You know, like I mentioned, the flathead screw and the Phillips, I don't know if that's how it came or if some of these have been replaced. I don't know if this has been sent into the spa for some work and some stuff has been replaced. I'm not sure because I know just enough to know that I don't know enough about these old school Emersons. So if you do know for certainty if how these originally came, let me know. But yeah, it definitely hasn't been pimped or altered or anything. I'm just saying that, you know, some of this hardware may have been switched out at some point. I'm not sure. I mean, it is over a decade old, you know, 99. It's going on 15 years here, so pretty old knife. It has been loved and used. Now, like I mentioned, when I bought this, I wasn't sure the condition it was going to come in. I didn't know if it would have, you know, some lockup issues. Pleasantly surprised to see it is rock solid, ready for use, ready to be carried. Decent edge on it. I've stropped it a little, and that kind of brought it up. There was a little bit of a burr on this side. I cleaned that up. So a little bit more work, and it's going to be plenty sharp. No need to sharpen it up. And but I am still thinking about sending it into Emerson for a different thing, and that is the lack of detent on this knife. And I don't mean that it has a light detent, because Emersons tend to have light detents. It doesn't have a detent. It doesn't have a working detent on it. And you know, I noticed that it didn't. And I took it apart just to try to figure out what the deal is, and I found out what it is. But let me explain a little bit as to what I saw. I should have turned the camera on, but I was just, I don't know, things were crazy around here and I just was in a hurry and I didn't. So on this side we have the safety tent, which is the tab that's bent out with a detent ball on it, on the non-locking side right here. And in newer Emersons, that's actually the working detent. So that fits inside the detent hole, which is on this side of the blade. And then on newer Emersons, you also have a detent ball, like this one, on the lock bar that simply acts as a track, you know, something to separate the lock bar from the tang so it has something to ride on, but there's not actually a hole on this side. So that's how a newer Emerson would work. Now, it's interesting because I was under the impression that the safety tent feature didn't appear till after 2000, and this is a 99, so I'm not sure if I'm just wrong on that point, or if maybe these scales have been swapped out, or if there's something else going on. I'm not sure. But this does have the safety dent tab, but there is no detent hole on this side. There is a detent hole on this side. However, you can see when you take it apart, because it's a black coated blade in particular, that you can see the track it's making, and it just misses that hole. It goes, I believe, right above the detent hole. So this detent ball does not actually fall into any hole on this blade on either side, thus giving it you know, no detent at all. Now, you know, I'm debating, because the perfectionist in me is like, yeah, you know, I'll send it in for a week or 2 weeks, spend you know, just some shipping money and get it taken care of, no big deal. But then the other part of me is like, yeah, I don't know if I care. It's fine. I kind of like my pivots a little bit tighter anyways, and with that tight pivot, it's not like the blade's, you know, falling out. Well, almost. But it's not like it's completely falling out, and it's obviously made it this long without a detent. So I don't know. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do it. Maybe I'll carry it for a little while, and as soon as I kind of am bored with carrying it, maybe I'll send it in at that point. But yeah, so there is a long look at my 99 Emerson Commander. I'll do a just for fun, I'll do a quick comparison video with my Mini Commander, so you can see the differences in a few of these things. For those of you that are hardcore Emerson fans, most of you probably don't care, but definitely cool, really smooth. What a smooth knife. Alright guys. I'm out of here. Catch you later.